Okay, so in this shadow play episode, this shadow episode is so epic. It's almost a colossal. This shadow is so edgy. It's like a hedgehog. This episode is so deep. It's like it takes you to the shadow realm with all the depthness that it opens and the new characters it introduces. This is shadow play, and 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 how is this a 6-star episode out of 5? Let me count the ways. Great new characters, awesome animation, another cool villain, and Star Swirl the Bearded. Star Swirl the Bearded's in the show finally after, 14 years of build-up and like a million different comic spin-offs about the guy. We finally have Star Swirl the Bearded in the show, and he's a dick, and it's awesome.
Well, I'm going to say the one thing that I believe that this episode did incredibly well was its world building. Like, holy cows.
I thought Equestria was the name of the world. Turns out it's a continent.
Yeah, something like that. So, by the way, my wonderful wife is with me today for this amazing episode.
As I'm in mid-bite, you introduced me.
Yeah, she's having some chili right now.
Don't talk to me about couples goals if you can't name this iconic couple. You know those things on Facebook where they got all the hand claps and stuff, and it's like
they're just like, don't tell me what to do if you never been in my shoe.
I'm just saying, John Lennon and Yoko Ono ain't got nothing on this. Wait a minute, that's not good.
All right, so
just don't do heroin. You two will be fine.
Yeah, this episode starts up with a storybook, as with a lot of these finales seem to be, but it opens up
his journal.
Yeah, it opens up with Star Swirl's journal, and you had basically
because the homie Sunburst bought a barrel.
Yeah, this is a blind buy. It only contains the most incredible journal ever. But
I want an episode that's all about the story of that book and like how it went through Equestria throughout the years to end up in a freaking barrel.
Kind of like what was that one? Well, I think it was from Land Before Time. When Littlefoot's egg, like the camera would follow Littlefoot's egg.
Yeah, that was cool. Really cool. So yeah, it starts off with that, and Sunburst is like, doesn't it start off with straight up him bringing up the Pony of Shadows, which I mean,
pretty much we had to banish the Pony of Shadows, and we have the universe elements of harmony here, which I love that fact that these guys were the creator. They planted the Tree of Harmony. They were basically the creators of the elements of harmony.
Technically, they just called it a seed. They never knew it was going to be the Tree of Harmony.
Yeah, but still, they were the ones that created the major MacGuffins of this entire show.
The elements of harmony. We are your father. Aren't at least 2 of you chicks? We are your father. So that was great, and I agree. I love that. It makes sense. And I'm gonna skip ahead because one of the things I wanted to shout about before my voice goes slack from still being sick, we had the sirens on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Adagio, Sonata, and the one that never got named in the actual movie,
Aria.
And
my favorite.
And they got banned during a flashback, which this is actually during the beginning because Sunburst is reading about that, right?
No, this is way later in the episode when they introduced Stygian.
Oh, that's right. Whatever. Point is, sirens were on TV. They're going to be coming back. It's going to be awesome. And fuck yeah. Okay, so the beginning keeps going on. And Celestia and Luna are like, dude, Star Swirl was our homie. And Twilight's like, but guys, I think I can bring them all back. Dun, dun, dun. My Little Pony.
Twilight became an idiot, honestly.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
got struck with the idiot stick this episode.
Can we bring that up right here? Because the whole central point of this episode, it isn't the miscommunication between Stygian and Starswirl and them. This episode, and Starswirl brings this up several times. This episode, the whole plot of this episode, literally could have been avoided. Well, yeah, if Sunburst didn't, didn't buy the book, but also if Twilight didn't try to save Starswirl and them, and then by proxy brought back the Pony of Shadows, because you'd think it would say in the journal, but maybe she didn't read that far, whatever. But yeah, this is another situation where everything's all Twilight's fault.
And Starlight to the rescue yet again.
Starlight to the rescue, but they sure didn't really thank her at the end of the second episode.
Yeah, but he said, well, even Starswirl said that I have a feeling I have to say a lot of apologies or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
because he was a dick.
He was.
He was a dick. He was. Oh, it was great.
It was not great.
Well, you know what they say: don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless you're AC Race Best or Saber Spark, those are cool dudes.
Actually, all the guys from Skill would probably be really cool.
Oh, they are total bros. And
I wouldn't know about the Nine Inch Nails guy because I've never met you, Reznor.
Trent Reznor did the audio. I don't like that.
It's not Reznor, you dick.
No, I was referencing that one text thing from Game Grumps.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, that. Okay, I actually know what that is.
Yeah.
No wonder why your live videos are so long. You guys go on different topics.
Yes, we go on tangents like crazy. So anyway, they're trying to figure out this book, and
it is a journal.
This journal, yes, and basically Twilight can't figure this out because the horn writing is so sloppy. I'm like, oh, so Starswirl was the doctor? Okay. And Starlight somehow can read his sloppy handwriting, and it's like, I can read this. It's bad, but it's not as bad as mine. And I'm just like, I want to see your handwriting. Your horn writing. So then we find out they have to go to Ponehenge, which I'm like,
Ponehenge.
I'm like, oh my God, they're actually going to England.
Ponehenge, yes. Keep up with these horrible names. They're amazing. I don't even mean that with that much sarcasm. These bad names are amazing. Ponehenge, Saddle Arabia, Ponage, freaking New Philly City or whatever. It's all great. It's all bad, but it's all great.
Oh, Las Vegas. Yeah. So they go to Ponehenge. And I love how Twilight's just like, I just wish something would magically show itself up.
Clink.
And again, it's just like tempting fate. This is tempting magic this time. And she puts the book down, and we get a full-on Paper Mario reference here. Would you agree?
Sorry, when I think of Paper Mario, I think of better games. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It depends on the Paper Mario.
When you're on Star Hill.
No, yeah, no,
their holograms or their projections.
You're not talking about a video game, you're talking about a pony. So.
Yes, but they look staticky in Ponehenge.
You look staticky, so you just shush.
Actually, it's true. I look at you and I just see a bunch of fuzzy compression in the air.
Oh, is that how you saw me at my wedding?
No, you were at least 720. So
there was a picture I saw that it was this kid, and it said ADHD, and then next to it 8240p.
Oh my God!
It was him all pixelated. Anyway, go on.
That's when 8240p is no, I shouldn't say that. Okay, so. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. The subject matter about Star Sword and them literally surrendering themselves to the eternity, like the Asari from Mass Effect's Afterlife or something. That was a pretty heavy subject because all their stories, except Star Sword's, you know, they all had to kind of go through some pretty rough shit. And yes, you know, especially the beauty lady. Oh my god! But they there was
that her hair was moving.
yeah.
Like
there was
she is now becoming Alicorn herself without any wings. She's too OP.
There was literally I'm sorry, I just think there's something really just touching but also kind of powerful about you know, these six that came together and like didn't even really knew each other. It was just kind of like a thing. They came together because well, I think Star Swirl assembled them. No, Stygian assembled them. Point is,
yeah. So
and then they're all just agreeing how, you know, there's literally no way we can come back from this. This is a one-way trip, but we're gonna stop the ultimate equestrian evil for good. And then someone's like, Star Swirl, what about that Draconicus? Nah, he's in stone. What about the Crystal Empire King? Nah, they trapped him under ice. Like that Metallica song? Metallica hasn't been invented yet. And then they're like, okay, let's go.
Let's do this. And they start banging out Highway to Hell.
Yeah, how the hell they tear a hole in space-time and march into the and breach into the ever intangible middle area between space-time and the perception of human consciousness for 1,000 years. And Twilight's like,
enough of that.
And Twilight's like, I think it'd be a good idea to bring them all back. So
let's do it. And they have to find items from all these characters.
I don't know why that was in the episode. This was such a clear padding out of time. I mean, because they rushed through it so fast.
But I like seeing like their elements going forward from like reminding us of like their elements again. It's like, excuse me, I don't know why I was yawning there. But basically we had Somnambula and Pinkie Pie going to, well, that's later, but Rainbow Dash and Spike go to the Dragonlands.
Dragon.
And Spike has to get the shield that Garble has. So he races them. And it's like, yeah, you have to have been awfully fast if all Spike had to do to beat you was fall down. And so I love how Rainbow Dash is just like, yeah, so Garble is going to challenge Rainbow Dash to race back up. And Rainbow Dash is the most cunning thing I have ever seen her do. She grabs the shield.
No, she doesn't. She tricks him.
Or she tricks him into putting the shield down for, you know, not weighing him down. And then just takes it and fucks off.
Oh, which keepers, like he said to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Karma, bitch.
Yeah, by the way, you're gravelly. But one thing I want to say that's really funny about this was when they're in the castle trying to figure out where they need to go before the map tells them. Twilight has a diorama of Ponehenge. And it's like, if we put all the items here, it'll activate something. And she just lets it fall to the floor, and Rarity's like, darling, a diorama. And Twilight's just like, oh, I made plenty of more. And then it switches over to a huge pile of her dioramas.
Like that without any enthusiasm and without a girlish voice. That is very sad.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was really fun.
Bro, are you assuming that's what women sound like?
Am I assuming her voice?
Pig. So
say, oh, I made more. She's just like, I made more. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You know how Tara Strong talks. I made more.
Yeah.
But so they gather all the crap, right? And you know,
Crap, I like the shovel.
Yeah, the shovel was great.
Well, I don't mean crap in like a disparaging form. I'm just saying it's just, you know, okay, how about this? They gather the very pretty plot relevant items and
I love how when Applejack goes to that same place, they're doing archaeology, and that one little filly who got the calling in archaeology is doing that same job there. She's like, teacher, come look over here. I think I found something. I'm just like, that's so adorable.
And I like how the teacher is just like a raging atheist that doesn't believe in any of her world's mythology.
Yeah, and then right at the end, you have a rock fall, and AJ like uses her back hooves to keep it in the air and just kicks it away.
I mean, I get it. Honestly, until I saw the Storm King in the MLP Trailers movie, I legit thought Tempest was from outer space. So,
so she gets that. Rarity goes over to that garden place, and they're tending to that one flower, and no one's been coming around because, of course, it's completely in ruins. Within a few seconds, Rarity cleans it all up. And she's like, well, now you're going to have to prune a bit more of these, but, you know, it'll be good.
No, she did not say prune a bit more. She said that you're going to have to watch over more than one flower.
I'm sorry. I don't know lines specifically, even though for some reason I do on most episodes.
Yeah, you do, you liar.
Thank you.
Every single week on here, you gotta like recite something verbatim from season 2. Or you gotta be like, hey, Snakeskin, do you remember that one joke that was made offhand in season 1? Well, this one guy made a gif out of it. Hey, did you see the new Anthony C video? I only watch Anthony C when you link him. Oh my god. But yeah, so they gather all the pretty plot relevant items. And this is around the time they head back to Ponehenge. And I gotta be honest with you, I like how the elements of harmony are kind of more or less extensions of what the original 6 persons are. Like, you know, for years we've had you know, we had honesty, loyalty, laughter, excuse me, generosity, magic, kindness. And the original 6, they're you know,
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Passion, and then passion, screaming and hollering, control, truth, justice, and the American way. And so they do this. They do this big, you know, Sailor Moon powering thing. You know, mirror, prism, power, makeup, Sailor Moon. And wait, how'd that old theme song used to go? It's like light and evil in the sunlight. Made love by the daylight. And they bring back Star Swirl the Bearded and his homies just like that. And initially it's pretty cool to see them all again. Well, not to see Star Swirl because we only see what he looks like in this, but it's cool to see the other characters we saw in other episodes. Yeah, it's awesome. And but then everyone's like freaking out, like, what? Holy shit, what the fuck is this? What the hell's a selfie? And Star Swirl's like, oh my god, what have you done? And Twilight's like, dude, I brought you back, but I made sure to leave the Shadow Pony. And then he's like, you can't simply just bring us back. And then the Shadow Pony shows up and just kind of really, really messes up everyone's Thursday. My Little Pony, and that's part 1. We'll be back next week with part 2.
Yeah. See you later. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm my avatar now.
Okay, let me see if I can find this. What the frick?
I remember those.
Yeah, why don't you list them off then?
Okay, so
why didn't she list them off then?
We're doing that now.
Stop stifling your wife.
for him.
Oh! Okay, go on.
I can hear you still.
Anyway.
It's bravery, hope, beauty, healing, strength, and sorcery.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So Black Mage, Blue Mage, Master Chief, and Samus.
Pretty much.
Okay, so Shadow Pony, and I gotta be honest with you, I like this dude's voice.
His laugh.
I'm back from the Shadow Realm with a trap card just for you.
Well, what's funny is I
know all your moves, Sonya.
I actually looked this up because the laugh that he has is the same laugh of Megatron from the Armada, Energon, and Cybertron series.
Did they get Megatron to voice this guy?
No, they didn't. They just have the laugh of Megatron.
Dude, that's freaking metal.
I know, right? It took me a while, and I'm like, why is IMDb lying to me?
Yeah. It's gotta happen. Rainbow Dash has to actually literally fight Starscream in canon. Okay, so this is where things get a little interesting in some good ways and some less good ways. Less good ways because I don't want to say it became cliche, but it just became very obvious that Starlight was right. Just because she's been very vindicated by the show that even when Starlight's wrong, she's right, i.e. the princess episode. But she's like they find out eventually that that's Stygian. It is Stygian, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they find out that it's Stygian, and she's like, well, I mean, could we just talk to the guy? I mean, that's worked for other people. And Star Swirl's just like,
a conversation will not save us now.
He's like, go back to MySpace, loser. And she's like,
that's not Nightmare Moon. That's my sister's old MySpace profile.
Dude, what the fuck? So then the whole rest of the episode is Star Swirl being like, okay, we need you to go across the lines and acquire magical amulets while me and Twilight work on a spell that can banish the Shadow Pony forever.
Well, basically, they're going to try and contain the darkness and try and find the Pony of Shadows at this point.
What?
Well, first, Starswirl didn't even want to do Twilight's spell. And it wasn't until Twilight's friends convinced him to use her spell, because the only reason why she got her wings in the first place is completing one of his original spells.
Well, no, I was gonna bring that up. I was just gonna use a bit more bros and profanity.
So basically, what I like was Sonambula comes up and no, it's Mage Meadowbrook that comes up and she's just like, it's a mad unconventional, but it just may work. And I'm thinking, yeah, the Bayou Hillbilly is going to say that line. That makes total sense.
Hey, man, don't doubt the powers of, Louisiana.
I'm not. They brought Popeyes to me. I'm happy.
Oh my God. So, bro, why do you hate Cajuns? Why are you a raging anti-Cajun?
No, I love Popeyes.
But yeah, oh my God. Okay, but yeah, like Katie said, yeah, Stars World originally isn't having none of that. And Twilight's like, but dude, look at this cool stuff I did, like in your name and stuff. Like, he's like, I guess that's impressive. But she's like, no, you literally don't understand. I love you. And then everyone kind of takes a collective step back, and he's like, okay, we'll give your plan a shot. That's how that scene went down in my mind. So
what I find funny, though, is you're thinking of her getting constantly rejected by this dick of a character. And I'm thinking to myself, 1,000-year-old friend zone.
I think he's a little old for her, but I mean, I don't know. We live in an era where age is just a number.
I'm just saying, for the old guy.
Oh my God, John, please! I swear to God.
Do you need a nap?
Maybe.
Yeah, this dude only gets like 2 hours of sleep because he's literally carrying all of Kenosha on his back. It feels like. Okay, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see members of the main six. I almost said five, six getting a bomb with their fairy tale homies. That was really cool because I'm honestly myself, when I was watching it, had a hard time believing that this was real, just because their stories just happened so long ago, and I mean, not for them, but really for Star Swirl, you know, I've only been watching 5 years, but for people that have been watching the full 7 years, you know, all you ever heard was Star Swirl was this and that, and it's like, to see them all here and doing stuff, it was just crazy.
I'm just gonna say, you were saying that it was great seeing them hang with their homies. I want to say my favorite was Applejack hanging with the Viking dude.
That was awesome. They were total bros. It was great.
Oh yeah.
So was Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash and the other Pegasus.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash and the Roman guy, they were getting along. They were so cool.
Like hooping everywhere.
That guy really was cool. I always forget his name for some reason, but he was really cool.
I forget most of their names, honestly.
Just call him Ponyitis. Leonidas. Ponitis. No, that doesn't sound good.
Ponitis.
I wonder if she finally got cider with him.
Yeah. They need to go and get cider and get messed up, fam.
Yeah, dude. Hashtag make Cloudsdale woke. Cloudsdale, hashtag Cloudsdale woke. That's what I tried to say.
Yeah, we're gonna make Cloudsdale drunk again.
Hashtag super cider squeezy. More like alcohol and easy. Like, okay, so yeah, they're doing all this stuff, and Starlight's like, you know, Spike, I really feel like I'm right about this. Why? Is it because you got an instinct in your gut and you're going off of past experiences? Huh? No, I just feel like the writer's making it really obvious that I'm right, but I'm kind of scared to talk to Twilight. Why? You can literally talk to her about anything. She's your teacher. She's like one of your best homies. She says, and Starlight's like, I know. That's what's weird. I know, that's what's weird. I know, like a douche. So,
but they're asking about Stygian. She first asked Star Swirl, and he's just like, he was corrupted, and we're never going to talk to him again. Then she asked the other ones, and it's like, well, we believe that he was trying to gain more power, and he steal the artifacts to create a spell to gain more power. And
at that point, they weren't artifacts; they were just things.
Yeah. He was gathering our random items, and Starlight asks, why was he stealing them in the first place? Like, why those specific items? And they're like, we don't know. You know?
And then when you talk to him, it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Man, people back then sucked 1,000 years ago.
Well, you also have to understand that Star Swirl didn't really understand the powerfulness of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which they established that about him in since the very beginning. They don't usually bring it up, but I'm pretty sure didn't they bring that up in the season 1 premiere?
It was something like that, but there was also a picture I saw where it was Celestia surrounding Star Swirl, like the back of her was behind him and she was curling around him, but she was asking him, Star Swirl, make some friends, and he's in the middle of a magical enchantment, and he's just like, he's all grumpy, and he's just like, no.
Yeah, before I even thought about Star Swirl showing up in the show, because Twilight it's not like Twilight has like a million different counterparts already, but I thought that initially it made kind of a cool counterpart to Twilight, because you know, I mean, yeah, you've got the like 4 that are like the failed students or whatever, and you've got Moon Dancer, but with Star Swirl, you know, until we knew the background of where he went or whatever, you know, it's like there's a guy that completely engrossed himself in his work, in his magic, and again, before Sunset Shimmer and Starlight Glimmer and Moon Dancer, I always thought that Star Swirl the Bearded was like always subtly the really big foil for Starlight, because I think it was Celestia said that Star Swirl knew great magic but didn't know shit about friendship, and she wanted to avoid that. And yeah, so, but then again, they started bringing in like 8 different characters that are like, what if Twilight went bad? So it's like, where it's like, what if Twilight was a shut-in, Moon Dancer? And it's like, no, I thought if Twilight was a shut-in, she was Star Swirl the goddamn Bearded. But apparently Star Swirl the Bearded turned into, okay, what if Twilight did literally the exact same stuff that she'd been doing since season 1, but wasn't a complete douche, and then boom, you guys, and didn't banish herself to shadows for 1,000 years.
Well, I'm going to say this. This actually basically blows up any sort of preconceived notion we ever had about Star Swirl. Any theories about, oh, Star Swirl was Discord before he became Discord, or stuff like, trying to think, or like Sunburst was a reincarnation of Star Swirl or something like that. But really, no, they were all just trapped in limbo. So, so they find the they find the middle area, like the area where they are going to. They find the final boss. Let's just say that, and then they go through, and they find out that Stygian is stuck inside, and this Pony of Shadows is like a symbiote. Which I'm like, they're bringing Venom into this.
Carnage!
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. So, Starlight and one thing I want to do before getting to the very end, when Starlight was asking Star Swirl about, you know, maybe we can convert him with a conversation, he said something that was like made sense to him, but to everyone else and to all of us watching, we're like, no, get with the times, bro. Was when he's like, once a villain, always a villain. And I'm like, look at fucking Starlight here, you idiot.
Did they bring that up to him too?
Huh?
Yes, Starlight brought it up to him.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, Starlight even mentioned that to him. And he was like, lucky shot, mate.
He did his luck.
He basically ignored her.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. You know, what's funny is when I first watched the second part, I thought to myself, you know, this show likes to put Starlight in the spotlight quite a bit. What if there's a part where he impresses Starlight with her own magic more than Twilight's magic? And then he's like, I think you'd make a worthy apprentice. And Twilight gets all pissed. I just thought that would have been the funniest thing. Because I remember when Starlight Glimmer finally met Sunset Shimmer and went to Equestria Girls, and she's there for like maybe 2 hours at max, and she has to save the day by herself. And she has probably the best design out of anyone in that universe. I was like, damn, dude. Someone up top like Starlight, she must sell a lot more toys than we know.
I'm just going to say, if Starlight got under Star Swirl the Bearded's proverbial wing, I would say this. Hashtag Force Unleashed MLP edition. Right. Now the dark side is your ally. At last.
I'm gonna tell you this.
My apprentice.
I'm gonna tell you this. If Starlight went from being Twilight student to Star Swirl, Twilight would start a campaign on Twitter going hashtag not my student.
Anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah, so we get to the end, and we find out again it's like Carnage or Venom.
That's the G in it.
Yep. Starlight and Twilight both go in.
Well, technically, Twilight goes in first.
Yeah. Twilight goes in first and tries to talk to him.
She goes inside of Stygian.
Yep. she goes on the inside. But she goes inside, and she's trying to talk to him. He's still succumbing to the darkness, and I'm like, wow, this really is like the symbiote.
Why he took the artifacts, the items in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Which was?
To make copies of them to see if he could get as good as they are. Magic or
something like that. But it wasn't a bad thing at all. They just jumped to conclusions.
Instead of having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like real people do.
And real friends.
Yeah, like I'm a real friend, but like, why would I do that back in the day? Like, that's just so weird.
It's like, bro, we were all in college. We had a little too much to drink. And, you know, I said some stuff I shouldn't have. But honestly, bro, you're being a bit of a bitch. That's basically what Star Swirl and Stygian's thing comes down to. Was Stygian being like, bro, my bad, but honestly, you guys were being kind of pricks, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, Stygian got such a short end of the deal. I mean, I'm glad none of them aged because, man, that would have been a ripoff for them. But, yeah, so she's able to pull Stygian. No, Starlight has to come in and help her. I think she goes in there to help pull Stygian out. Yeah, and then the Shadow Pony's like, Stygian, no, don't leave me. You need me, or something like that. And
he should have been played by Andy Serkis. Like, seriously,
the Shadow Pony needs to come back, but they need to do something where it's like
the Last Jedi MLP edition. You're going to have the Shadow Pony talking to Stygian and saying, when I found you, I saw raw, untamed power.
I wasn't afraid of this power before. Now I am. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so the episode the episode finishes off. Stygian's like, my bad, and Star Swirl takes off his cap or whatever, and he's like, no, Stygian, our bad. And they they metaphorically kiss and make up, they smooch it all, they go home. They go back to Canterlot and they present themselves to Celestia. And Celestia and Lunar are like, dude, Star Swirl, what's up, bro? And they're like, hey man.
Yeah, are you gonna stay with us and teach? We have fond memories of your lessons. And then Lunar's like, as long as we don't have to turn in those papers before you suddenly disappear.
Which is really funny to me to think that that's really funny to me to think that Star Swirl the Beard is just such a stern ass teacher that even in times of war and when he has to fight a one-way battle that him and his allies won't make it back from, he still felt the need to give the princesses of this world homework.
Yeah. So
I just think that's really funny.
You said there was something that we missed?
Yeah, while Starlight and Twilight were trying to pull Stygian out of the Shadow Pony, you guys forgot to mention that all the rest of them had to help them pull Stygian out.
Yeah. They had to use the element.
Pinkie Pie didn't do nothing.
Pony back, and while getting Stygian out at the same time.
Yeah, but
well, I mean, I thought that was implied.
But the elements were saved instead of destroyed because it was a friendship problem instead of.
Yeah, because the whole thing is.
That's right. It was all a friendship problem.
The elements and the originators of Equestria, and they also thought, and then their butts start tingling. So it's like we have to go and solve this, and that constitutes a friendship problem. But now. They solve the friendship problem while the elements of harmony are still saved. So here's my question. What the fuck is going to happen with the rainbow power? It was used once.
Maybe it'll be used again? I don't know.
They have the elements of harmony back.
Yeah, but they probably have to return it back to the tree. Remember that? What happened the last time?
True.
They'll finally form the Equestrian Village people. It's fun to stay at the PMCA.
So yeah, that was Shadow Play.
Oh yeah, I like how at the end of this episode they ask everyone, "Hey, will you guys be sticking around?" which really to translate, hey, you guys want to be in a couple episodes of season 8? And they're like, well, so much has changed since we've been gone. We better, and Star Wars World too was like, we better explore the world a bit, and then maybe we'll come back and hang out. Translation, yeah, we're gonna keep these characters in our pockets until we want to get the ratings up a little bit. So don't expect them to like episode 10. And then Rarity was like, what about Tempest? My Little Pony. Episode ends.
So yeah, by the way, you're gravelly again. I don't know why I keep doing that. But let's go for our scores. This episode was not as
solid epic. 9.
Really?
Compared to other finale, 9.5.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. This was not as action-packed as I thought it was gonna be. Mainly because I think I'm on a bit of a pony burnout because of the fact that we had season 7 so close to season 6. But the world building just did it all for me, so I'm giving this a 10.
Now, I would give it a 10. It's just not it's just there's just something a little bit that was keeping it from being a 10, even though I really did like it. I guess they're mostly nitpicks, but it is obviously really solid all the way through. It's good. It's awesome. But I know we're gonna do the season retrospective, and that's always subject to change and shit. But like, for now, that's the score that feels right. Although there might be pony burnout for me a bit too, only because when all the episodes leaked, I kind of binge watched them all. So
yeah,
and that was a day after that was like the day of the movie too. So well, that I saw the movie.
So. What would you give this as a score?
I don't know, 9.5.
Wow, leave me the odd one out.
Well, the reason being is because I didn't really care for Star Swirl being kind of a dick, and then being a dick to Starlight, more or less. I mean, just like, I understand that he's like 1,000 or some years old, and he's never, he hasn't been there in a very long time, but still.
Oh, man, you can't treat the homie Glim like that.
And then, treating Twilight poorly in the beginning, and, it's like, seriously, dude?
It was a bit too much.
Yeah. And then, she had to have her friends back her up about why they should use her spell in the first place. It's like,
I get why they did that, because it was to subtly, it was to do a couple things. It was like, it was to see how far Twilight would be willing to go for like her biggest idol. But I think it was also a subtle thing of like how in these big events or whatever, it always kind of comes down to Twilight having to do it by herself, even though the show's all about power of friendship. So by having her friends and Starlight consistently get her back and like, like be there with her, it's to kind of subtly, what's the word, negate that.
Yeah, even Twilight was a little bit ridiculous when it came to Starlight saying,
oh no, yeah, no, everyone kind of took turns with that.
And Twilight was just so wrapped up in her hero and impressing her hero, she totally disregarded her own student.
Yeah, I mean, she's been able to do that before, but that doesn't make it any better, especially when we're 7 seasons in.
Yeah.
And I even in the episode, Starlight brought up a good point. I'm happy that your hero wasn't here, because otherwise I would have been banished to limbo as well.
Oh, I forgot about that line. That was a good line.
Yeah, that was a great line. Similar to that one line from Silver Spoon during Crusaders of the Lost Mark. Oh, sorry, I wasn't allowed to speak. Just like,
oh yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, this was a great episode, and we'll be seeing our season retrospective very soon.
It's actually a great season finale.
Yes, a great season finale.
It was a good season overall.
Oh yeah, this was a great season. So, yeah, we'll be back very soon for the retrospective. Yeah, she wanted to come on for the last finale. So
I wanted to, or you forced me to?
it was kind of a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it for me.
You told me a pretty lady would bring in more views.
Well, she is beautiful.
We need Annie for that.
So that's it from me, John.
Me, Snakeskin.
And me, Katie.
And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Snakeskin is my real name, by the way.